Hey y'all, Irix Guy here, back again with another DJI Mini 3 Pro video. And this thing's been great, man. And I'm going to kick it into normal mode. Normal mode is my preferred flying mode. Check out my videos, my separate videos where I demonstrate sport mode and cinema mode, or sign mode, however you want to say it. I'm going to go ahead and start the record of my DJI RC. That's one of the cool features, one of the cool value adds that DJI RC brings to the table. I can record what I'm seeing within the app, and then now I'm also going to press record on the drone's camera. So the drone's camera is recording now at 4K 60 frames per second. 4K 60 is actually my go-to recording frame rate for the Mini 3 Pro, and we're going to talk about that after we get airborne. So to get airborne, and we are in a safe and responsible location. So to get airborne, we just did the sticks like that. Notice how silent this drone is. And starting this flight out in normal mode, I'm going to shut my trap and I'm going to bring it close to the camera so you can hear how silent it is. Also notice minimal fluctuation while in a hover. See, I'm in a hover right now, not manipulating the controls. Minimal fluctuation and very quiet. The chirping you hear is the obstacle avoidance. As I go away from myself in the camera, the chirping will slow down to indicate that I'm getting further away. Now it's stopped. So I've gone out of the well, whatever it calls it. I'm just going to call it the danger zone, man. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to film. We're going to go up to a safe and responsible altitude, and we're going to let's see, right now we're at a safe and responsible altitude of about 100 feet AGL, above ground level. So just going to do some maneuvering here. Nothing too abrupt, but I do want to make some rapid turns just to see how the camera and how the gimbal handle those rapid turns. Again, we are in normal mode. 69% battery life remaining. I've flown a few flights already with this same battery, and it's incredible, because one of the coolest things about this drone is that this is the standard capacity battery, and due to the ultralight nature of this drone, even this standard capacity battery achieves phenomenal battery life. In the past, you'd be lucky to film with a Phantom. You know, when this drone technology first came out, with a Phantom, you would have been lucky to have gotten a full-length YouTube video or two from one huge battery from a Phantom. Now we've got this tiny ultralight battery where I can comfortably get an abundance of YouTube videos. Now, something I want to do is actually test in a separate video, and this is just my fourth flight test, so I'm not going to drain a battery from full to empty in this video, but that other video is coming, and it may already be there. So subscribe to my channel and ring that bell icon, and you may find that it's already been posted. But that's a video battery drain. You know, how long, starting with 100% battery in normal mode and flying, you know, not hovering, but flying and maneuvering and this, that, and the other. How long in the real world can I achieve? You know, what kind of flight time can I achieve in the real world with a battery that's fully charged with the Mini 3 Pro? Again, standard capacity battery. This is not the extended capacity battery, and you can find the extended capacity battery linked within this video's description. And the value add of it is that it would further increase your flight time. But the disadvantage of the extended capacity battery is that it would take it over this weight threshold, this 240, you know, right around 249 grams. So if you do choose to upgrade to the extended capacity battery, which I don't know why anyone would. I mean, this battery, as you're seeing here, we're still at 62%. And I didn't start with a full charge. I mean, the battery is great. I've been recording video for almost 4 minutes now. But there may be certain use cases where someone may need the USB recharge. They may need the even more insanely good battery life, and they may not care about keeping it under 249 grams. So in that situation, you know, I could see why somebody would need the extended capacity battery. But for most people, this battery, the standard capacity battery for the Mini 3 Pro, is probably going to be more than acceptable. It's a phenomenal battery, ultra lightweight, and it's just, I mean, wow. And it's USB rechargeable. That's the best value add for me with this drone, is being able to, and see, I I love facing that camera straight up at the sky. Look at that. But yeah, being able to, you can see those chemtrails from those airplanes, but being able to face the camera up, have a battery that's so small and so lightweight, but something that's not just lightweight for the sake of being lightweight, but something that makes everything else, you know, when you're traveling with a bunch of cameras, a bunch of other equipment, throwing this in your bag along with other gear is not an inconvenience at all. So I mean, it's that ultralight nature is awesome. And then not to mention, and again, I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a member of the government, but the ultralight nature in some countries and in some areas may provide value add. And again, I'm not going to speak to that, but you know, check with your local authorities and whatnot and see if flying a drone that's this lightweight may not be subject to as many restrictions. I mean, who knows? You know, check with your local authorities and they will be able to tell you what that may provide in that particular area. That's not my thing to answer. So, you know, with that being said, I mean, this thing, even low to the ground, it handles everything exceptionally well. It does have obstacle avoidance. Although I don't care about obstacle avoidance, it's nice that it's there, especially for, you know, for a less seasoned drone pilot, that obstacle avoidance could possibly better prevent something catastrophic from occurring. But again, never trust it. You know, it's a safety feature, you know, like a seat belt. Just because there's a seat belt in the car doesn't mean you want to go out and wreck and see if it saves your life. You know, the same with obstacle avoidance. See, like right now it's coming towards me. Well, if that failed, even with my glasses on, it could cut my eyes. And if I had my glasses off, it could be even more catastrophic. But at a minimum, if I made contact with that, I would have chop marks all over my face and or other parts of my body. So not something you want to intentionally do. So with that, you know, with that being said, don't trust obstacle avoidance, but the fact that it's there does enhance peace of mind. And it, you know, again, perception, the safety perception of drones. You know, a lot of people don't like drones. Man, those things are dangerous. I don't, you know, so the fact that it's smaller, it doesn't have that visual appeal that makes the trolls come after it as much. And the fact that it has obstacle avoidance, that emphasizes safety, you know, a safer drone. So it may lessen some of the negative speak associated with drones. So I like that it has obstacle avoidance, and I like that it's small and lightweight. I mean, it's not a toy, but if someone was uneducated and they saw it, they might assume, oh, that's just a little toy, you know. Somebody's out there flying a toy drone. Isn't that cool, man? You know, so it doesn't have that intimidating appearance. It doesn't have that intimidating size. It doesn't have an intimidating design. I mean, the design of it's just a little gray thing. Looks like a little, I'll bring it back over here to the camera, you know. It just looks like a little toy, you know. Dude, why are you over 40 years old and flying toys, man? Aren't you too old for toys, dude? Well, no, I'm not. So, but yeah, I mean, just look at that. Look at the minimal amount of fluctuation there while it's in a hover. Just a phenomenal drone. And still, I've got 46% battery life remaining. So I'm going to go ahead and put it down, and we're going to have some post fourth flight dialogue here, because it's important to talk about this stuff, man. I mean, if I just went out here and flew and tried to tell you that everything's perfect and there's nothing that could be better, then I wouldn't be an honest drone pilot. Okay, so I'm going to hit stop on the drone, stop on the recorder, and my main camera should be continuing to film. Yes, I'm in the shade. That is something I wanted to mention. There are many times, especially as it heats up. Today it's around 82 degrees Fahrenheit, but I'm in the shade. I've got the camera in the shade. This camera that I'm filming with, if it takes direct sunlight for a half hour or so, it'll often overheat. So if this video flakes out, I apologize, but I've only been filming a little bit shy of 10 minutes. So yeah, that was the fourth flight with the Mini 3 Pro. It's a phenomenal drone. It's very small, it's very lightweight, but what DJI has achieved, and they did a good job with DJI Mini 2, and then also, you know, testing the water, saying, hey, we can make an ultralight drone, when they released DJI Mavic Mini, which in my opinion is now obsolete from a camera perspective, but it would still be a good entry-level drone if you don't want to spend a lot and you want to test the waters, because the controls, the app experience, all of that's the same. You start small, you could fly any drone that DJI offers, because it's the same DJI DNA, the same DJI controller experience and app experience. So This drone, as you saw here, Mini 3 Pro, my 4th flight, it just continues to impress me. And again, there's been drones that I've skipped over, haven't reviewed, and that's because I didn't have personal interest in them. Prime example, DJI Mavic 3 Pro, the big one. I didn't see enough newness in that to entice me to jump on it, because I had the Mavic 2 Pro that had a 1-inch sensor, the Mavic Air 2S that also had a 1-inch sensor, but achieved consistently reliable autofocus. So I didn't really, with the Air 2S, if I'm doing more of a professional type drone video, I'm just going to use the Air 2S because the autofocus is rock solid and I have that large 1-inch sensor for low light situations. Curiously enough, even though this has a much physically smaller camera and obviously does not have a 1-inch sensor, this thing does exceptionally well in low light. Now, if you're a pixel picker, or a pixel peeper, I guess I should say, and you expand the 4K video on, say, a 65 or 70 or 80-inch smart TV, and you look at all the details, especially when it's dark, and you look at the black areas in the video, you're probably going to see grain, a little bit of grain. On a 1-inch sensor, that grain would be a lot less pronounced, even if visible at all. But what you got to take into consideration with these drones is that when you're filming with a drone with a camera that has a smaller sensor, a lot of your people are going to be watching from an iPhone or an Android phone or an iPad. So whether it was filmed with a 1-inch sensor drone camera, like the Mavic 3 Pro, the Mavic 2 Pro, or the Mavic Air 2S, or the Mini 3 Pro with a very small sensor, for your people with the iPad or the iPhone, they're probably not going to visually discern the difference. Now, there are exceptions, your video files like myself that really know the editing and know all the ins and outs, but for most people, they're not going to notice a difference. I think this is the perfect drone on the market today. The price, the performance, you do not have to go with the more expensive DJI RC option, but if your budget allows, I highly encourage you to do that. I've been flying multiple flights today. I've flown multiple flights today before this one. I'm still at 42% battery life on the drone. And this display on the DJI RC hasn't dimmed. Try that in warm weather with an iPhone, even the current generation iPhone. You're probably going to notice that after using the DJI app for an extended period of time on your iPhone, that the display of the iPhone will start to dim. I haven't noticed that with this. And even with my polarized sunglasses on, I can see this crystal clear. Amazing job, amazing drone. I couldn't be happier. Actually, I could. If they do release a future mini drone with a 1-inch sensor, why not? If they had that, there would be no need for any other drone because you'd have everything. USB recharge, ultralight, small, and then you'd have the 1-inch sensor. I know that's got to be coming. I'm surprised it didn't come with this, but I am beyond stoked at what they were able to achieve with this tiny little camera, and especially the ability to look up. That adds a very unique filming perspective. Thanks for your viewership. Be sure to subscribe. Again, always preach and practice safe and responsible drone use. I am the drone evangelist, and it's so important because if we don't, this hobby may cease to exist. Be your own drone evangelist. Preach and practice safe and responsible drone use. Thank you. Y'all have a good day. Hey y'all, Captain Irix Guy here. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to subscribe. It's youtube.com/Irix Guy. And ring that bell icon when you do to be notified whenever I post another video. Thanks for your viewership, and y'all have a good day.